Hello everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, my card making space. We're live, unscripted, unfiltered, and I'm kind of ready. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just gonna figure it out as we go along. Literally. It's been a long month, to say the least, and it's not over. Stamtember's not over. So, hello to everybody. I have a rough idea of what I'm planning on doing. I posted links, like I've got a supply list in the description box in the doobly-doo below, and it's pinned in the live chat, and that's about as far. Well, and I was doing a bunch of die cutting this afternoon. Like I have a rough, vague idea, and we're just some of it we're literally going to play by ear because I'm just like so anyway, hello to everyone. So yeah, and it's just me running the whole show. Literally, I am the only one in here right now. Chris went to get groceries. We literally just got out of a meeting right before I've got stuff knocked over. Right before I went live. And that meeting ran a little long, which is also why I'm just like flustered because I have 5 million things bounce around in my head. But he's getting groceries because, we all got to eat. And then when he gets back, it'll probably be a little bit chaotic because groceries need to get put away. And I've got the freezer and stuff in here, but we will deal with it when we get to it. That's as far as everything is going to go. Kareen, thank you so much for the super chat. I very much appreciate it. So, yeah, links are below. I did a ton of die cutting. And yeah, I'm feeling very, very overwhelmed at the moment because I had hoped to have more time to plan what I was going to make. And that didn't happen. So we're definitely going to be basically crafting on the fly tonight, which might be okay. We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know. I need blending brushes. Okay. We're just gonna figure it out, and it is what it is. So let me hello to everybody. Let me switch the camera down. Okay. So my main focus is this. There we go. I was like, you guys. I am so tired. Okay. The gingerbread mugs die set is so cute. It's super cute. So that's what I was die cutting, along with a few other elements, and we'll just get to it. But I just die cut a bunch of pieces. And that's literally as far as I got. I didn't plan a proper layout or... Because yeah, today, all days, ran away from me, but we're gonna make it work. What my rough plan is to make one card on the live, because I'm not gonna push myself like a crazy person, because that's just dumb. And I have enough pieces though, because I had that was also the issue. I was like, ooh, I could do this, and then I could do other overthinking it. So then I die cut another, and yeah, I don't know why I do this to myself. I do this to myself all the time. So yeah, and then as we go through things, I did some generic links. I linked to what I plan on using, the die sets and that kind of stuff, along with I linked to the Pretty Pink Posh September release, because that's the main focus. The generic links is things like Concord 9th cardstock, because I was like, I literally didn't have time to do every single color, because I was just, it's been a day. But we'll get to it, We'll get to it. So let me first zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So this is Concord 9th's wheat cardstock. So I die cut my little mug bases from that. So we got little mug bases. And then there's a separate little die so you can make the handle a different color, which I thought was super cute. I was like, So I went with, this is Aqua Sky. Yeah, Aqua Sky. So he has that. Yeah. Oh, that goes with that side. See, that was the thing I really liked about this die set is there's, how do I explain this? So you guys, seriously, once I get warm, once my brain gets warmed up, we'll be good. But right now, brain no work so good. Words difficult. There's two. And it's not just like two of everything because it's like different orientations. You know, so I got one that goes this way, one that goes this way, and then same with like the little handles. There's one that goes so I just need to make sure I have the right ones because they're just a smidge different, if that makes sense. And it's with this, it's like it's such a subtle difference that I don't think it really matters. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So there's like, and then there's 2 low whipped creams, 2 candy canes. One die does all the little piping, you know, things like that. So really, even though I did a ton of die cutting, it didn't take that long, which very well thought out. Love it. Love it so much. So we have our pieces, and then the extras will just sit in the darn tray for me to deal with later. And then all of our accoutrements. Like I said, I was die cutting like a crazy person. This little tray, I do have this linked. This is the I call it the Kathy Zilski special. Little porcelain watercolor tray. I did put little feet, and I can't show them because that would flip us over. But those little felt self-adhesive thingers, you can get them at like anywhere. You know, I put those on the bottom of this because this is porcelain, and last thing I need is it like breaking the glass or the tray itself, whatever. So I got all my die cut pieces, and we'll get to those when we get to them. The first thing I wanted to do was add some like ink blending to make these look a little more, like give them a little more depth. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start with this, and then we'll just see where my chaotic, insane brain takes us. Because y'all, I am running on less than fumes at this point. Thank you for the inspiration. So thank you, Mari. Yeah, it's just been a month, but we're just gonna see where everything goes. So I'm using wheat ink, so same color of ink as the cardstock. And like I always say, but if you're like new around here, when you are ink blending on color, basically anything other than white, you always got to keep in mind that everything is going to look significantly darker. Like right now, very dark, you know, because the ink is wet. And this will soften and dry back a bit. I'm not worried about this. The handle's going to look gross, but that gets covered by the other piece. So we're not worried about that. So this will soften and dry back a bit, you know, so it's going to look a little different. So you just always got to keep that in mind, because especially when you're doing tone on tone, in this case, it's a little different. But when you're doing the exact same color of ink as the cardstock, at first it can look like, oh, it's a perfect blend. And then you come back to it later and it's like, there's nothing here, you know, like it's all gone, and it's because the ink is fully dried. So you just got to keep that in mind, you know. So right now this is very dark, but it's going to like fade out a little bit, not a ton. And yay. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Mari. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, no one's too late. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. So I'm going to add my ink to the perimeter, because it really does, like, just adding ink, you know, the difference it just makes for something so simple. There ain't nothing wrong with just keeping die cuts as solid cardstock, especially nowadays with all the little bits and pieces, all of the little details now too. You know, there's stitch details and deboss details and yada yada yada. It's like there's nothing wrong with just taking your die cuts, cutting things out, and gluing it together. You know, you don't have to add everything under the sun, but it's always a nice option. And I do really like adding just some blending just to, yeah, and see, already you can kind of see a difference. Like fresh, still wet, and then see how it's already lightened up, you know? So, yeah, okay. We did that. So that's the first little bit. And then I need to wipe. And I just oh my goodness, everything's chaos. And yeah, for everyone, because I've been like responding to comments and stuff, because everyone's like, I hope you get to take a break and you're gonna, go on vacation or whatever. Y'all, it's not ending. Like I'm jumping from this right into, I have projects, multiple ones. There's releases coming. Like really, it's basically this, like this until the end of the year, which is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So we're all good. Everything will be good. Everything will be good. Amy just needs to like just woosah, and just yeah, everything's good. So we got those. That's as far as I went. Literally, y'all. I didn't even get a chance. My whole plan was I was gonna like build one of these guys. Like I am literally doing all this on the fly. So we're just gonna see what happens. Honestly, this. I'm not even gonna promise finished cards at the end of this because who knows? Okay. Oh yeah, no, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna make this work. Well, whatever. It's gonna work no matter what. We gotta make it work. What I want to do though, I'm gonna there's little marshmallows in this die set, and doop doop doop, and the marshmallows too. The little die for it. Die cuts like 6 at a time. I can't even stress how much I love that. Like Paulina at Pretty Pink Posh, genius. Because if it was just one die, can you imagine die cutting? Like, being able to just throw it in. I threw it in with everything else and was just die cutting, and then I end up with a pile of little die cuts. Love that, because that is one thing I actually do hate is if I want like 20 of something, some little like do, and then I would have, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just going to take whatever's left on my brush and I'm just adding a smidge of it. Because even though technically when you're adding marshmallows to like hot chocolate and stuff, you're not like roasting them first, but that would actually be really good. I prefer my marshmallows to be roasted. Have I ever done it for hot chocolate? No. But I'm just doing it more so to give them a little bit of something. You know what I mean? Just a smidge. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit. But if I really wanted to be bougie with some hot chocolate, it's like roast the marshmallows. Oh my goodness. Simon's launching something at midnight as a heads up. Yeah, they post a sneak peek, so I'm not giving away anything because I wasn't aware of it either. I'm assuming it's going to be a limited edition kit is what's going to launch tonight because they posted a sneak peek on their social. I saw it popped up on my Facebook and I was just like, oh, I don't have it. So I will post when it goes live. I will post about it and then we'll see. I'm sure it's amazing. Their limited edition kits are amazing. So anyway, yeah, roasted marshmallows with hot cocoa. It's just, yeah, I could see myself being bougie like that, But this is more just for the looks of it all. But in a perfect world, that is what I would do. So I'm just gonna add. How many did I do now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, let's do one more. 10. Yep, good enough. Okay, so those guys. Wipe up that ink, and then we'll take this little pile, and we're gonna just put it back in the tray. And then I'm gonna take. I die cut the little hot chocolate little bits, and then that was done with nutmeg ink or nutmeg cardstock, and then I'll use the nutmeg ink again. This is kind of kind of pointless with this because it's mostly going to get covered up. But I had the ink pulled out. The brush is here. Let's just, you never know. There might be. Like I said, I had planned to have things a little more streamlined before we started, but and life. So we'll just add that little bit. There we go. There we go. Just gives it that little extra something. Yeah, that was it with the nutmeg color. And then wipe that up. Make sure so I don't have brown ink everywhere. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then what I wanted to do. Okay, so I have that. Do I want to add ink to those pieces? Not really. Let's just assemble our little candy canes. Because yeah, we're just gonna see where this all goes, you know? So we're gonna put a little doomahickey down. And then we've got our little candy cane pieces. And these I die cut from, this was Brickyard from Concord 9th, and then just white cardstock. And same thing. There's a separate little, I think there's a wafer die that does the candy cane with the stitch line. And then there's a die that die cuts all the little pieces. And there's two of them because there's two different directions. So for this, I will use, where's mine? There it is. This will come in handy. And then let's just start. I guess it would help if okay, this starts at the bottom. There we go. Yeah, once I get a starting point, we'll get there. Okay, so we're gonna add all our little, if I unclog my glue, of course. Oh, is that all I needed to do? Yep, okay. Back to what we were doing. To add a little dab of glue. And then we can just pick up our little pieces and adhere them into place. And it's going to make the cutest little candy cane. And then I just got to figure out, oh, that's going to fit right there. This one probably goes like, Nope. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm figuring it out. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. I kind of know what I'm doing. Not really. There we go. Look at me doing all this stuff all professional like. Doop. Does that one go there? There we go. Okay. Love it. Love it. Okay. So then just glue. I'm not going to bother with the like inking little pieces like this. Like you could, you know, if you really wanted to be that extra, it would look nice, but especially at this moment, is that am I supposed to go around? Let me just, I don't think it really matters. In some ways it honestly doesn't, but also I can like get myself, oh, this is probably supposed to go like, who cares? Again, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to look cute no matter what we do. Yeah. You know, my stripey stripes. I'm starting to get myself into the weeds with this one. This is why you're supposed to do things before you go live. But like I said, I just did not have the time today. It's been a day. So, whatevs. Hopefully everyone else had a really good day. Mine has just been a little bit chaotic. Okay, there we go. There we go. Super cute, you know? Doesn't need to be perfect. We'll do that one. All adorable. And then we got that one. And it's basically the exact same thing. So I just got to line up all these random little pieces so I know where everything goes. So it'll be like that. I'm going to assume this one goes probably right there. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And then this one. Whoop. And I'm knocking it all over. Yes, I am. Oh well. We'll get there. Yep. Yep, this works. Okay. So then we'll just do the same thing. So a little bit of glue. Doot, 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 doot. And this is where a little embellishment wand comes in so handy when you're dealing with smaller pieces, several pieces, etc., etc. So we got that one, and then that one will go there. Love it. And then there's that one. It's so cute. I just can't. Okay. And then that one and that one. And that'll be candy cane number 2. Get that little piece. Look at that. Seriously, how cute are these? Candy canes. Okay. And then, yeah. See, the ink now has like dried back. You can tell that's the first one I did. So it does. It does dry back. So got that and that. And then I want to do all the little decorative. Okay, we can start like kind of basically assembling these guys. I've got little cheeks. Boop. Those are nectar. Yeah, nectar. There's little cheeks, which you can use or not. And then we've got little little dies that do the eyes and the little like, smiley face. I don't think I'm going to use the actual die cuts for that. We'll get to that in a second. Let's get the little like, yeah, let's assemble the little hot cocoa parts because that'll give me more of a visual too. Ooh, and I want to add ink before we get to that. Let's add a bit of ink just to the handles. Give them a bit of blending. And now my phone's going off, which is Chris. You always got to make sure in case he's like forgetting something when he's, at Costco. Okay. There we go. So then, I'm going to take Aqua Sky cardstock, Aqua Sky ink, and just a little bit, just a bit of blending, not a ton, like just enough to give it that little extra something. Kind of whatever's left on the brush. Blend a bit more. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need. You don't need much. So blend that on there. And then tiny smidge more. And then whatever's left on the brush. Good enough. Okay. And then wipe up that ink so that I don't smudge it all over everything. Okay. There we go. There. So now we can get back to making our little dudes. So let's adhere the handles first. Just like so. We'll get that into place like that. Love it. And then get the second little handle in place. And then we can get the cocoa along the top. And this is where reverse tweezers from Reverse tweezers. I don't know what I was even going to say. My brain just like stopped. Holy. Okay. So then we can adhere. Like once they really start coming together, it's like so cute. Is anyone else getting ads interrupting this live? There shouldn't be. Literally, there should not be, but I've talked about this many times. YouTube does whatever it wants. Because I have them set so that there are no ads during my lives, like while I'm live, and then afterwards. Afterwards, I go in, once YouTube's done processing everything, I go in and delete the 50 plus ads they try and put on my lives. Because don't even get me started. It drives me insane. Like, ad revenue helps a lot. As a, I am a content creator. This is my job. This helps pay the bills. So the ad revenue is important. However, I am also a human being and no one needs an ad every 2 minutes. That is absolute insanity. And I'm not okay with that. But yeah, YouTube does whatever it wants. Love that so much. Okay. So we got that. And then there's going to be like, he's got one eye. I have a plan for the eyes, which of course I forgot to link. Well, it doesn't matter if I link to it or not. Yeah, all the little bits will get tucked in like behind the whipped cream. So you know what? We can just like add this. Anyway, they are in the chat. Oh, I knew YouTube was going to start testing that, like putting ads like in the chat and stuff, which is also super annoying. Don't even get me started. But yeah, I don't. They give us the illusion of control, but we don't have any control. YouTube does whatever it pleases. Because yeah, I literally have it set so that there are no ads during my lives. And yet when my live starts, people get delivered an ad. And I'm like, I hope I get a cut of that, because... Anyway. Okay. There we go. We're gonna... There we go. Add. Yes, they show up in the chat. That is weird. And the thing is I have my live stream open on my laptop, like the actual, like as you guys are seeing it, like on YouTube, and there's nothing. Like it literally depends on your region and all. Like again, when I joke about the robot overlords, that's literally what I'm referring to, because there's no ads. So what YouTube is showing me is what I chose. I don't like that they're doing what they want with everybody else. Okay. So we got those so far. And then we need to, don't lose his little mouth. So we got little mouths and little cheeks. And then for their eyes, when I dye, because the dye does the eyes and the mouth, they're, again, two little dyes like that. I did die cut them because it's all part of the dye. However, what I plan to do instead is add little these, and I don't have a link to them right now. When I edit my links afterwards, I'll add these, because as it doesn't matter anymore right now, I think these are out of stock. And these are literally called an eye for an eye sprinkles from Doodlebug. But yeah, when I was linking my earlier video that went up today, I saw these and they were out of stock. So any little, and you can use, it's the same thing, like any little enamel dots will work, little gems, things like that. I was like, ooh, yep, perfection. Love it. So that's what I'm going to use instead. And another thing you could do though is just keep the little die cuts, and then you could just add a little bit of glossy accents. Is there any way we can contact YouTube and complain? I don't mean this sarcastic to you, like I'm not being rude to you. I mean this like in a general sense towards YouTube. Good luck with that. YouTube's a massive corporation. Huge. There's good luck ever talking to someone, Considering even like big creators usually have to resort to like threatening on social media to get any sort of attention, you know. And I'm a small creator. I'm a nobody. I am a nobody. Um so yeah, and it's all about the almighty dollar, you know? All the advertising and all the crap. Like yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay. I want to like there we go. I want to get their little mouths doo, 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 adhered into place first. Again, reverse tweezers or just tweezers in general for the win. So we do that. Okay. So we do that. Remove the little like dye hairs that like to get in the way. There we go. And then we got his little cheeks because why not? Okay, there we go. There is a feedback option. Oh, if there's a feedback option, do it. You know, I just, I am, yeah, it's a very weird thing doing this as a job, like being a content creator, when you're at the mercy of, you know, I joke about the robot overlords, all that kind of stuff, but it's very true. Like, yeah, this is my content. This is me doing this. Like, you know, this, I have control over this, but everything else, the platform that's currently hosting this, you know, all the things, it's like, I have no control over any of it. It's annoying, you know? And things like advertising is, I get it. I get it 100%. And it's been the biggest, one of the biggest headaches over the years, being at the mercy of all that and at the mercy of um, other people's decisions. Like back in the day, we actually used to make really good money from AdSense and stuff. And then one big creator said something very inappropriate in a video. This was many years ago, like many, many years ago. They were one of the biggest creators, in fact, the biggest creator at the time. And the fallout was international. And all the brands started pulling their ads from YouTube. And all of our income went like, and it's never fully recovered. And it's been over like, it's been about 10 years since that first happened. So, and that was the first one. That was the first adpocalypse, as it was coined. And there have been many adpocalypses since, all caused by other makers, not in the creative space, but other content creators. And we all paid the penalty for that. Oh, these are going to be cute. Okay. We're going to adhere these little guys. Once they have their faces on, they'll look super extra super cute. Ridiculous. I love it. I love it. Okay. Yeah. I get it. And it does suck as on my end, not having ads, technically not having ads during my lives. It's a hit to the income. However, I decided to just shut them off because it was getting so ridiculous. Like, yeah, interrupting the live feed, and then people were getting bombarded constantly. And again, it was something that I had not chosen, you know? It's like we could do like moderate. YouTube's idea of moderate is literally like an ad every 2 minutes. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? Anyway, we got the bow ties. So, yeah, not a fan, but I'm at their mercy. Okay, for the little bow ties, oh, don't get red ink all over yourself. We're going to add some Brickyard ink. These are also die cut from Brickyard. So I'm basically just gonna drag in a little bit of ink. Just like that. Just keep it simple. There we go. There we go. Yep. Okay. And then, especially with red, we immediately wipe this up so that it doesn't transfer to absolutely everything else. There we go. Okay. Every 30 seconds on another video I was watching about. Yeah. With my lives specifically, once the live is over, I go back in. I have to wait for YouTube to, it takes time. The machine has to process it, blah, blah, blah. But I go back in later and then I delete like 75% of the ads that they choose to put on it because it is utterly insane. And I will not do that to people. I was like, who wants to sit through a literal ad, like constant, just one after another, blah. Like some of them are literally like overlapping each other, and I was like, no, just stop. And it drives me nuts on top of it because I was like, you have like, you're a big corporation, have lots of people working for you. Has no one, like, are none of you normal people? Like, did none of you actually watch YouTube videos? Like, who's gonna sit through that? Like, heck, it used to be my biggest pet peeve back in the day. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I never have. But back when we had, normal TV, not streaming and all the stuff we have now. And especially when I was like a stay-at-home mom, shows like I would watch, Oprah, that sort of thing. And I started noticing how, like, through that 1 hour show, how the ads were, like the commercial breaks were, spaced out in the beginning of the episode. And then nearer to the end of the episode, she was interrupting like every like 2 to 5 minutes for a commercial break. And I was like, I got so sick of it, I stopped watching because I was like, I'm sorry, why is this? Just my own personal behavior. I was like, let people sit for a bit and like, But yeah. Okay. Look at their little selves. Look how cute they are. Okay. Here we go. I didn't do nothing, Christy. I didn't do nothing. And yes, I wouldn't be surprised if this more recent, because it's been going on for a while, but this more recent crazy push of like really, really heavily ads to push more people to sign up for YouTube Premium. I have no idea. It all just is what it is. Okay, we got those. Oh, and there's decorative bits. Yeah, don't forget the decorative bits. We have decorative bits. We have swirly decorative bits. Doop. And then we've got wavy decorative bits. So we're going to do one of each because, they're their own unique little gingerbread person. And Amy hasn't had enough sleep and she's starting to lose her mind. So I'm all like, Anyway, do I want to do it that way or do I want to do it? Oh, I like it that way. Okay. Where's my little, there we go, tweezers. Got to add the decorative bits because that's the best part of gingerbread cookies is the icing, in my opinion. There we go. Yep, don't forget the bits. Make sure you get their bits. There we go. Besides it, just seriously, here, I talked about that in a recent video. It's like a habit for me if I'm like fussy cutting or doing things, I naturally start like pulling it towards myself. And a lot of times I'm not paying attention when I'm filming. And then I like go to edit, all the footage. And it's like my hands are like right here. You can't see anything I'm doing because also I'm getting old. The older I get, the more my eyesight and everything. And I'm like having to hold things like right up to my face all the time, which makes it hard to film, So, so when you're alone and creating, do you listen to music? Oh, I do. I usually, I'll have music going. Sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks, but I find that with things like audiobooks, and that's why I also don't do like podcasts, because for me, I get too wrapped up in it. Like I used to, like I was like, oh, I could like listen to an audiobook while I'm, prepping and doing things, and then I just kept finding myself like just sitting, like because I was so wrapped up in whatever story I was listening to, things like that, that I wasn't getting anything done. So now I just either listen to music. Sometimes I'll put on like a show like on Netflix or whatever. If but it usually has to be one that I've seen before, cuz same thing, I can't, if it isn't something I've seen before, that I can't, watch the screen and get things done at the same time. So, Friends is always a good one because I've seen that show a million times. Or when I'm in the mood, which I have been lately, Twilight reruns. Stupidest movies ever, and I don't care. I don't care. I love them. They're completely ridiculous. And I love them. They are a comfort watch for me. Okay. Um the only time I enjoy ads is during the Super Bowl, and even then you find, yeah, I never watch. Well, I don't watch sports at all. But that's the only thing I look forward to with the Super Bowl. It's the halftime show and the commercials. And those all get posted online, so I can avoid that. Okay. And we add all their little decorative bits. Yeah, like any sort of show that I've, seen before. This month, because I was working like I was living in here literally for this past month. I watch all of True Blood. Not for everyone. That's like Twilight on steroids. Literally, it's raunchy as heck. But I've seen it before, so I just kind of had it going on, and then just at times I was like, just laughing at some of the ridiculousness of that show. So, okay. Oh yeah, this is turning out so cute. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Uh yeah. Friends, Twilight, just stuff I've seen, which they're, yeah, my repertoire. Because again, I don't watch a whole lot. I've been wanting to rewatch Stranger Things because the final season's coming out at the end of the year, but I've only seen that show like all the previous seasons once, like one run through. So that's one that I know I definitely can't watch while I'm working because I won't get anything done because I'll just be sitting there like, and because my memory is completely shot, um, I'll end up not remembering, and that's why I need to rewatch it because I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. Um, oh, that one too. 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice. We were talking about that the other day. I wouldn't get anything done though. I'd be just sitting there because I haven't seen that one basically since 1995. Man, I need more hours in the day. Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I've seen Lord of the Rings more than once, but I know I wouldn't get anything done if I put it on. Like, it's just a good show, man. Lord of the Rings. Can't go wrong with Lord of the Rings. Love it. Side note, I just learned that Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict. I can never pronounce his last name. I always forget. Um, I know that he did the voice of, what was that dragon's name in the books? He did the voice anyway of that one. I was not aware he did the voice of Sauron in the movies, and he did. Not only did he do the voice of Sauron, but all the black speech. He did it all backwards. Like, I just learned that like yesterday, and I was like, crazy, absolutely crazy. I did not know that. I didn't know it was him, and I didn't know that he did it all backwards, and then they reversed it in post to make it sound so. And then during like an interview with him, and he was like, I felt like I was like summoning spirits, you know, speaking the black tongue or the black speech backwards. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I would too. So love it. Love it. Smog. There we go. Thank you. I couldn't remember. My brain, you guys, I told you, my brain is mush. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at them. Look at our little guys. They're so cute. They're so cute. Okay. So we got all their little elements. All super cute. And now I need to figure out what I'm going to do. He's sexy and a ridiculous smart. He is. Yeah. Agreed. 100%. And he's a phenomenal actor. Like, he's one of those ones that just really, that has that spark for it. And anything he's in, I'm just like, I am seated, you know? So yeah. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. I have that. And then I want to do a card front. That's what I want to do. We're going to take this and this, because if we do this, we do the card front, because I'll cut down. Derb. Yeah. Yeah, we can make this work. We can make this work. I'm creating on the fly. We're gonna figure it out. Whatever. Just don't ever ask him to say penguin. You know, funny thing. That was mentioned in the comments under the video that I was watching yesterday, whatever, about him, the behind the scenes of him filming him speaking the black speech and doing it backwards and all this stuff, because it is something else. In the comments, someone was like, just don't ask him to say penguin backwards. Obviously, there's a reference there, but that just made me laugh. So, anywho, okay. We have that. Oh yeah, I die cut a ton. It looks like even more, but all, like, most of these die cut multiples, you know. Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. First, where did I put it? Okay. Oldie but goodie. I pulled out the Winter Words. The Winter Word stencil. This one came out, I think, last year. I think it was last year. Anyway, it's a good one. I've used it in previous videos. So I've got that. And then I have the Nectar ink, because I want this to be soft. This is not like the main focus. And then let me wipe my brush. I'm also going to take some scratch paper here to see, because this brush had like pretty dark oh yeah, okay, because I want this to be light, you know. This is just the background, this is not the focus. So I just want to quickly and lightly go over this like that. And then once we get all these little bits filled in, okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have that. Oh yeah, Graham Norton. That show, yeah, I like the Graham Norton show. That one, when that one pops up, you know, clips from it in my feed, I love. Like, some of the most interesting interviews and just, like, you know, celebrity whatevers are from the Graham Norton show, and I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay. So, get that cleaned up, because I want to take the stencil while I've got it out and do my card base. So, making sure I'm not going to get ink absolutely everywhere. So we'll take my card base, we'll take my trusty piece of Post-it tape, and we'll stick it right along the score line so I don't get ink past my score line. And then we're going to stick, make sure the stencil is in the right direction. And then we'll line them up onto the inside of the card. And then basically kind of whatever's left on my brush first. However, this is a really light shade of ink. So I'm not oh no, it's gonna give us enough color. It's just basically wiping whatever's left on the stencil and whatever's left on the brush onto this cardstock. There we go. Oh yeah, perfect. And then it's not too dark, you know? Because especially when it's like phrases or words or things like that, because I want to be able to write over this, and then we'll be good to go. So that's the inside. You can just take that off of there, and then again give this a quick little swipe. I don't think we're gonna need him again. We'll see. Okay, and then for this, do I want to die cut this? Do I want to die cut? I could. Although where did I put those dies? Do I still have them out? Probably not, knowing me. Nope. Nope. Oh, yep. Ha. I don't have these linked, but I'll link to them after the lives over the Wonky stitched rectangles. Ah, there we go. So no new Stamptember collab tomorrow. No, the collabs are done as of yeah, let's look at that. As of today. That was the Doodlebug collab was the last one. However, there's supposed to be something being released tonight at, is it midnight Eastern, I think, is what they said, which would be 10 p.m. Central. I'm not 100% certain, but from the sneak peeks they posted, I assume it's a limited edition kit. I will know more when it goes live, and then I will inform everyone and will link it on my socials, because I'm sure it'll be fabulous. But let's die cut that. And then, yeah, do that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we got that. And then what I want is my piece big enough. Oh, this is big enough. I have a piece of nectar cardstock. So if I cut this to be A2 size, which it might need just a little bit of manipulation because it looks a little bit wonky. Let's do that. There we go. That looks better. Okay. So we have that and that. And little die cut hairs, which is usually a sign that your plates or the plate you cut into are worn out and need to be replaced. But I've talked about this before. I use my die cut plates until there's nothing left of them, and I just or until I cannot stand the little fuzzy hairs anymore, and like I'm losing my mind. But yeah, my plates are definitely worn right out because I did a lot of die cutting. Shocker. Anyway, yeah, so we got that, and then we've got okay, yes. Yeah, with Benedict Cumberbatch. By the end of the documentary, he was more penguin. Yeah. That's funny. It's funny. Okay. So we got like our little guys. They're going to be so cute. And then we've got like some accessories that are going to go with this as well. Yes. 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 It's Got those. And then I have some gumdrops. I die cut more stuff than I could possibly fit on this card. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Yeah. Those. We have little candy canes that we're gonna stick in there. And then I die cut little, like I've got their little marshmallows, which I might do like a couple little marshmallows. And then I also die cut little greenery bits. These die cuts are from the Christmas bell die set. Because I was thinking of just sticking little bits in there, you know, just to bring in a little more color. So I'm gonna do those, which I want to add a bit of ink to. This is pistachio, I think. Yes, pistachio. Okay. So, let's add a bit of ink to these pieces, and then I die cut gumdrops. Those are from the, yeah, that's this die set. This is the big is it Christmas bucket editions? This I did link to this one. It was just this wafer die. I used the gumdrops. Yeah, this will be the bucket, like holiday bucket or Christmas bucket edition, something like that. I die cut the gumdrops and it die cuts 3 at a time. Love it. I also used the candy wafer die, and I did also die cut some snowflakes, but I did a lot of die cutting. I was like, ooh, that's cute. Die cut it. Ooh, that's cute. I was all over the place. But yeah, and then these little sprigs are from the Christmas bell, which I did a video a few days ago. Whenever it was recent. I made those Christmas bell cards. That's on my channel. Add rock candy to the gumdrops. Oh, I already am planning on doing that. We'll get to it. One thing at a time. Trust me, I was like, I have the rock candy linked in the supplies because I was like, oh, to make these look like gumdrops. We'll get there. We'll get there. We're going to add a bit of ink first to this, like so. There we go. Again, just to give those bits of dimension. And that's why I don't think I'm going to bother adding ink to the like gumdrop die cuts, because I'm planning on covering those with glitter. Yeah, that's the plan. So we can leave those, but we'll just add that little bit. Yeah, nothing else really needs ink, I don't think. We'll see. We'll see. One thing at a time. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. And then we'll put that there. Doop doop. And then where's my other cloth? I've lost everything. What am I doing with my life? I don't know. Why am I here? Anyway, okay. So we're gonna add, let's glue this on to the background. And then we're gonna take so adhere this to the background like so. And then we can start building this whole little scene. Honestly, I wonder if I should just do I want to do both of them? No, I want to do both for this one. But the other ones I'm going to make with the rest of the die cuts, I'll probably just use individual. You guys, I'm like just way overthinking it. So how about we just not do that anymore? Okay. Let's add glue to the back or the front of our candy cane. That's going to get tucked in behind this guy like that. Just like that. Yep. being all cute. And then we've got like, do I want to do my little sprigs like right like that? Kind of. Or I could do them on this side. You know, because you totally stick pine sprigs in your hot cocoa. Look, you know, maybe you do. Like, I won't judge. It's all about the aesthetics, right? Not about the, not about the flavor. There we go. It just looks cute. What do I know? Okay. So we're gonna add that. And then we'll add that one. Like that. It just gives a little extra something. Okay. And then this dude with those, we'll just set those aside. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. He's gonna get a candy cane in his little, in his head, in his mug, whatever. There we go. Just like that. Just want to make sure that I'm not gonna go over the edge. So I can kind of pull that up a little bit. Oof, it's already, this glue does dry pretty quickly. And there we go. Okay. So we got that. Candied mint. Yeah, whatever. Well, we can call it whatever we want. It's paper. Who cares? You know, it's just for decoration. It's not like people are actually going to have to drink this. You know? So, yeah. And it's always just funny to me because, like, so often I always tell everyone, you know, it's just paper. Like, don't overthink it. You know, it's just paper. And yet, but I also tell y'all, do as I say, not as I do. Because I overthink everything. Like, just is what it is. Okay. There we go. It's cute. It's cute. It's like sprigs poking her in the eye. Who cares? Who cares? Just enjoy it. It's all good. We're good. So we got that. We've got a couple little marshmallows. I definitely ink blended way too many, but that's okay. We'll just stick them. We're just gonna stick them on there anyway. I was like, where's my glue? So we'll just do like a blob of glue and a marshmallow. And then another blob of glue and a marshmallow. And this is where a little pokey tool comes in handy. There we go. And then we do the same thing with this guy. Put a blob of glue on a marshmallow. And then a second blob of glue. And I want a marshmallow that didn't get quite as much ink on. This one will work. There we go. So marshmallows, candy canes, hot whipped cream, and pine sprigs. That's how you make a hot chocolate. Whatever, man. So we got that. And then yeah, so we got some gumdrops. So I did like a green one, and I did that color. Gonna do oh, and I did that one as well. Oh, maybe I should do red. Okay, one little time. Let's add, because you know, why not? Where's that die? Doop. Let's die cut. We need red gumdrops as well. I knew that I was forgetting something. So we can just quickly run that guy through, and we should be good. Hopefully. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Don't lick the area. Yeah. Pine flavored hot chocolate. Yeah. I know, right? Who knows? Maybe I'm just ahead of the trend. Maybe that'll be like the next big thing is pine flavored hot chocolate. And y'all can be like, oh my gosh, Amy was such a genius. Yep. Okay. Don't lose that way for die. So we got some little gumdrops. Because these are going to get covered in glitter, of course. And if we do this and that, yeah, that's lots. That's lots. We got that. We've got that. And then the other little candy bits that I did. Goodness. Yeah. Yeah, because we still need to do a little sentiment too. My goodness. I'm like packing this card just full. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, do that. Yeah. Yep. Let's adhere our little dudes. Put some glue on the high points. And then once we get these in place, because of course I still probably want to add splatter. Is it overkill? Meh. Meh. So add that dude. You know what? Maybe we only need the 3. Maybe we only need the 3. Okay. And then you're used to making 2 cards. I know, right? And I literally have enough die cuts to do like 4 cards, basically. Because my brain was just going on overdrive and I was like, ooh. So all the other die cuts I did with all these pieces I'm probably just going to like do a couple of different layouts within reason. I assume you're here to put away some groceries? Yep. You survived Costco? Barely. Barely? I'm sure it was chaotic. Everybody was there for the $1.50 hot dog. Oh, I'm sure they were. You can't go wrong with a $1.50 hot dog, man. Get you in your place. Okay. So we got our little mugs. And we got our little gumdrops. Or we can make the gumdrops off. I don't even know, you guys. Where's my sentiments? Because I need space. There they are. Okay. These are back in stock. Pretty Pink Posh has them restocked because these were like the first thing to sell out. Oh my goodness. And I wanted to use because I thought yeah, a latte. My brain, I'm just trying to think how I'm going to fit. Again, how I'm going to fit everything on here. This is also why I should probably do bigger cards than A2. Okay, so because I've got this, and then I pulled out this old set. This is the winter drinks set. And I was thinking of using just the from the thanks but a latte warmest wishes. It's kind of silly, but I'm here for it, you know? I'm here for it. And yeah, we could use latte warmest wishes. Yeah, I think it's silly and I'm here for it. So that would be that. And then I think with this one, do I want to do the stitch? I do like the stitched wafer die. Because we could do that. Could do that on vellum. We do that on vellum. And then, oh yeah, okay. Brain is sort of getting there in a very slow manner. Where's all my vellum? There's a piece of vellum. That's big enough. That'll work. Okay, I got a piece of vellum. I need, because I have the coordinating die set for this as well, which I have not used. Good job, Amy. I bought this set years ago, and then did I actually use it? You know? That I want with a piece Need a bigger piece of that nutmeg cardstock. Don't need very much of it. There we go. Yep. Okay. Let's make this work. Okay. So then we got that one. We got this. We're going to need a little more space because this is going to get die cut like so. So let's just get, oh my goodness, I have an absolute disaster going on here. Okay. Heat tool, always useful. Oh, and we can add splatter. Let's do splatter before I do my sentiments. Durr. Because yeah, we definitely got to add splatter to this. Obviously. So why is that even a question? Because it's not. It's not a question. Okay. Welcome to the chaos, y'all. This is usually me on a regular day. Let me get... Yeah, I don't think there's going to be room for the gumdrops. Not my gumdrop buttons. Yup. Okay. Let me just get all the things out of the way. I have 5 million things going on here. Okay. There we go. Let's add a little bit of splatter. Not black. Although black would look cute too, but let's just add white splatter. Let's keep it a little tame here. So we'll add a little bit of that. And then we need to add some water. And then try not to knock my jar of water over, because trust me, been there, done that. Okay, add a bit of water to it to thin it out. That actually might have been just a smidge too much water, but not the end of the world. Where's my, I already lost my gouache. There it is. Okay, so, I've been getting a lot. I will maybe eventually do an actual dedicated video. I have not had enough time to even think straight. But I've been getting a lot of questions about splatter. And the main question I've been getting a lot of is people asking me how to get like bigger blobs. And the only way you're going to get bigger blobs is more liquid, you know? And it will also depend on the brush you're using as well. That's why I like my little fan brush. It does take a bit of practice to understand what works for you. And then also accepting the fact that it has a mind of its own. Like even just me mixing, I managed to get like splotches. I don't care. But if you want bigger blotches, you just need more liquid on the brush, whatever brush you're using. Because if there's not much liquid and you're having to really tap, that's how you get the little bits. And it depends on what you're using to splatter with, the type of brush you're using, and then how much liquid there is. And no matter what, you will never have full control. You will never have full control. And I say this as a control freak. Like, splatter was intimidating when I first, started doing it, but it fascinated me and I just like the look it gives, So that's my take. And I did get some on their eyeballs. That I'm not concerned with. Later, if I want, I can probably like wipe this off because it is gouache. There we go. That's good. Okay. I get splatter everywhere. I find on my phone. Oh yeah, it does. It gets everywhere. Like even with the splat box and all of it, I still manage to get it absolutely everywhere. Not as bad as it used to be, but it's still, I'll find it like all over my desk and I don't really care. That, and I don't wear, not that I really own many nice clothes, but the few things I do own that I consider like nicer that are just not ratty and gross, I just don't wear them when I'm in here because if it's not going to be splatter, it's going to be ink or glue. I got glue on a pair of like Lululemon yoga pants. Not cool, man. Those things are expensive. Um, and even though I immediately tried to treat it like the glue did, like it left a stain. Still so mad about that. Anyway. So I'm literally in like a hoodie and ratty old sweatpants. That is my like go-to work uniform, crafting uniform, whatever. So yeah. And then what I can do, most likely, Diane, you don't keep it down. You don't. Another option though, and I used to show it in old videos. I haven't done it in years, but I was talking about it recently. It might even have been my last live. I used to lay out an old towel. I kept it dedicated just for before the splat box became a thing. I would lay out an old towel. You can see it in my old videos, however many years ago, that I just kept in here. So when I was doing splat, I would just lay out the towel, and then that way it would catch most of the mess. Totally works. Or a flour sackcloth, because I've got those as well. Those work really nicely. When I'm being extra messy, or if I'm doing like a ton of splattering, I lay that out. I just cover up everything, and then we're good to go. So because gouache is water reactive, I'm just taking my water brush and just wiping it over because these little eyes are enamel dots. So I can just wipe the gouache splatter off these little eyeballs and just clean them up. Doesn't need to be perfect, but the fact that there was like several splotches on them just looked a little weird. So there we go. They're clean. The rest of it is good to go. So, okay. I'm constantly dropping things on myself or putting my elbow or hand in ink. 100 times. 100%. All the time. Fingerprints on my finished cards, splatter, glue, knocking things over. Always. And that's always when I can tell when I'm either PMSing or I don't have enough sleep or both, is when I like knock something on the floor and I start crying, over like just knocking it over or whatever. And I'm like sitting here sobbing and it's like, oh, Amy needs like a snack or a break or a nap or all three. Those are usually my ear marker when I'm just like, I knocked my die on the floor. Or my supper. That happened the one day when Chris came in here and I literally knocked an entire plate of like chicken fingers and fries onto the floor and then just started sobbing uncontrollably. But it's been a long month, man. And he's like, it's okay. I'm like, it's not. I got barbecue sauce on the floor. Oh, Amy needs a vacation. Okay. Now, yep, I definitely need a bigger pot. I need more space. I don't have enough space, but it's all good. Okay. So, I've got cardstock, vellum, stamps. I need anti-static powder tool, white embossing powder, heat tools plugged in, clear embossing ink. That would help too. Where's my clear embossing ink? It's here somewhere. Nope. Where did it go? Where's my clear embossing ink? I have it. It grew legs. There it is. It grew legs and hid behind another ink pad. Okay. Yep. Doesn't help that I also cry like over everything. Drop of a hat and I'm like sobbing over the most inconsequential things. And a lot of you know, because I have cried on so many lives. Just is what it is. Okay. Okay. We're ready. We're ready to do this. So anti-static powder. There we go. Anti-static powder. Doot, 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 doot. This just helps prevent the embossing powder from clinging to where it doesn't belong. So anti-static powder. Stick that over there. Hope you're able to take a little time off next month. Not really, but it won't be as chaotic as this month has been. Like I've got a lot. I got a lot more content coming up. Tons of things going on, but it won't be as crazy for me behind the scenes as this month has been, so it'll be good. And I'm like literally looking forward to like some of the new releases, and I have other things, other videos and stuff I have that'll be coming. Yeah, I have 5 million plans. It's the busiest time of year. It's all good. Okay. So then I stamp the first sentiment. I want to get the embossing powder on here. Top off the excess. Okay, that guy is good. Set him there for a second, because then we'll stamp this one. Help you find enough affiliate sales not to meet your Christmas goals. Yeah, that's the reason why I do like the crazy pace of this month, because it's my Christmas budget. This year was definitely not as super awesome, like income wise, but my kids will not suffer. Like, Christmas should still be okay. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Same thing. We stamped it with the clear embossing ink, some white embossing powder, tap off the excess, put lid back on embossing powder so I don't flip it over. That one has happened. Not fun. And then we're gonna melt this with the heat tool. Lisa, I cry when I'm angry too. Sometimes. It depends on the type of anger, you know, but yeah. Been there, done that a million times over. No, okay. Okay. I've talked about this before, but because it's top of mind at the moment. And I can't really show what I mean on camera because one, I don't want to wreck this because we're live, and trust me, my brain is already starting to like, we're done. When it comes to heat embossing, regardless of like, and I know I have the other one to heat emboss, it's fine. I'll get to it in a second. When you are heat embossing with your heat tool, like pay attention to, because you can see it obviously in real life much better than on camera, but you can see as it's melting. And the minute you see an area melt, move your heat tool. Like, don't keep heating, you know, and because you can see it as you move your heat tool, you'll see it, you know, start to melt. Because if you keep the heat on, because you saw I just derp, and then I turned off my heat tool, we're good to go. Because if you overheat your embossing powder, that's when you're going to notice, because you're literally liquefying it. Like, you're melting that embossing powder and you want that raised image. And if you overheat it, you liquefy it. And as it liquefies, it will sink into your cardstock. So if you always find that you're heat embossing, especially, you notice it mostly with white, but it'll happen with any type, any color, anything. And it's like, it's so patchy. It looks really weird. Like, nothing works. 99% of the time, you're overheating it. It just needs to be one. That's why I always say in my videos, like, I heat it till it's smooth and melted. That's it. Because that's all you need. You don't need to keep going and going and going. Hopefully that makes sense. And then with something like vellum, vellum is very, very thin. It takes next to no time to melt. And vellum will light on fire. So will cardstock. But like, vellum will light on fire way faster. So it just, because it's so thin, it just melts almost immediately. Huge difference. So, and your heat tool only needs to heat up for a few seconds. It does not need to run for minutes. Done. Done. Yeah, that's the other thing. And I've talked about this in videos too. Your heat tool does not need to sit and run for like multiple minutes to heat up. I have seen posts online of people like starting house fires with those things, or melting their heat tools. Like, and they were like, I just let it run for like 5 minutes. I was like, what? It needs like 10 seconds. Literally, that's all you need. So obviously, different tools vary, but they don't need very long to heat up, like, at all. Especially this one, the one that I use and link to, this Wagner one. This thing is like 450 degrees This tip gets incredibly hot. I unplug this when I'm done. I never leave it plugged in, even in a power strip. And I know some people think I'm a complete paranoid nutter, but like this is a major fire hazard. And I just cannot stress it enough to people. Just unplug it. I know there's a lot of crafters out there. I've had other makers tell me, they're like, I've never unplugged mine, you know? And I was like, that's great. I just would rather not mess with karma, fate, my awful luck at times, because all you'd need is this thing knocking over and the, you know, the switch getting flipped. And if this thing was like on the floor or, you know, everything in here is flammable, it would probably start a fire before I could get down here to like deal with it. You know what I mean? So when I'm done for the day, I unplug mine. I do not leave it plugged in. In fact, I'm unplugging it right now. Unplugged. Because I would rather just not. So, yeah. Um, do, do, do. I have the Judican Sparkle and Simon's Detail Sparkle, but I don't have the best luck with Sparkle Sting. If they're like a Sparkle embossing powder is a little bit of a different beast. With Sparkle embossing powder, quite often, it depends on the brand because they all vary the ratio of glitter to embossing powder. But with a Sparkle embossing powder, I would heat from the underside of the cardstock instead of right at it because the force of the air of the heat tool is going like this, and all that glitter is like wee and going everywhere. You know, it is just what it is. But sparkly embossing powders or super fine, like some of the more finicky powders, those are the or an image, say, that was really, really detailed. You know, you're using a really fine embossing powder and there's a lot of detail. Those ones I would heat from the back just to try and get, and it works just the same, you know. Um, but yeah, you just gotta pay attention. You just gotta pay attention. Um, exactly. Yeah, Christy. One time mine fell on the floor, my dog stepped on it and turned it on. Yeah, if people have pets at home, cats, cats love it. They just seem to know when something's plugged in and they can just turn it on. You know, that's just what cats do. But dogs do too. And little people running around, all of it. It's like, and me, my big one is just I am clumsy. You know, I am a clumsy human being. So I've just tried to make it a habit of I unplug my heat tool every single evening because since I do this as a job, I'm in here 7 days a week basically. So once I'm done work for the day, I unplug my heat tool, and I've just made it a habit because I would just rather not. I would just rather not. Okay, I got that. What am I doing? I need my dies. I put my die back. I need my dies. The dies would help. I have all my tools plugged into a strip, and I turn the strip off when I'm done. That works to a degree, but I will say power strips, there is still power running through that thing. You know? I don't trust them. Like, it's definitely safer, but there's still power running into it, you know? And it's just with the heat tool more than anything else. Things like our die cut machines and, you know, that kind of stuff, if it's connected to like a power strip, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I've literally seen just nightmare posts. Like people have like burned their houses down and it just freaks me out. Okay. Let me do okay. So yeah, I know. I sound a little paranoid. I sound a little crazy, and that's fine. I just some of the tools and some of the things we use are like not for kids and not like just to just be aware, if that makes sense. Cause yeah, they can just they're not just little like, ooh, little crafty tools. You know, it's like, oh no, this can do some serious damage. Like the heat tool alone, let alone like fire hazard. It's like that metal end and that heat can like burn skin and start cardstock on fire. So it's just being aware. Anyway. Okay. Live with a power generation mechanic and electricity is still going through those strips. Yep. Same with any of really all our appliances, all of it, even though they're turned off, if they are plugged into an outlet, there's still power. You know, it's when you're dealing with electricity, it blows my mind sometimes how cavalier some people get. I'm not talking about you guys, but just there have been conversations I've had in the past, and people just like plugging in their hair dryer and sticking it under their comforter to like heat up their bed, you know, because they're cold. And I'm like, we have heated blankets, you know, that's a thing. Or you could stick your comforter in the dryer for a few minutes to warm it up. Please, just I have to go scream into the void now, you know? Anyway, anyway. Same with like things like candles. I'm a bit of a nutter, but at the same time I'm like, you got to keep things. I just have enough clearance on that. Okay. I'm going to save the rest of that vellum. You got to save it for another project, man. I'm going to put that in the pile. I'll clean it up afterwards. Okay. Literally just enough clearance. Doop, get back where you belong. There we go. Okay. Oh, thank you, Naomi. Ooh, I missed it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. At least electricity is filled with angry pixies. That's how my husband describes it. He's kind of right. My coworker's husband and son are firefighters. She's drilled it into my head to unplug appliances, especially if they create. It's true. Like my toaster, the toaster, we keep that unplugged. Like those sorts of appliances, it is true. And I know sometimes it's like, oh, this is ridiculous. But yeah, I would rather be a little bit paranoid within reason, you know, and just try to develop some common sense habits to unplug things. Because yeah, it's crazy. And it would really suck, and I don't want to ever have to deal with that, you know? Okay. Another big fire hazard is dryer. Oh yeah, dryer lint. People need to clean that out. I'm not even kidding. This was side story years ago in what I call my previous life. And actually, it wasn't even. It was after I was separated. Like, it was right before I got divorced, but we were separated. So I was living on my own in the house with the kids. And I kept hearing noises I had a little laundry room that was off my kitchen. And where the washer and dryer was the outside wall. And I kept hearing noises in that wall. Just weird ones. Like it was just these weird noises. And I was like, and I couldn't figure it out, and I thought I was going crazy because at the time I was pregnant with my fourth kid. We were separated, but I was living at home, and I was just like, is this pregnancy hormone? Like, am I losing my mind? Long story short, we pulled out the dryer vent. A bird had gotten in there and had stuffed my dryer vent with twigs. Like, that little was trying to kill me. Oh, so yeah. Fun times. Needless to say, I got a different cover for the dryer vent so that the bird couldn't get back in there. Had to clean the whole thing out, and man, anyway, complete and total insanity. Okay. Ooh. Love it. Do you clean up after you're done or wait until next morning to put your craft stuff away? It depends on what I'm doing. Like tonight, am I going to clean everything up? We'll see how I'm feeling once this is all done, because like it's been a long day. I'm exhausted. For me, because I do this as a job, I generally clean up sort of right after, you know, or the next morning, depending on how late I'm working in the evening. Because yeah, I usually have to get on to like the very next project, yada, yada, yada. So I do clean up within reason, like quite quickly afterwards. Does everyone need to do that? No. But I usually have like, oh, I got to go right on to the next project. Okay. You didn't get the Cinderella critters? No, I got the like murderous critters. That's what I got, because, you know, that's the kind of karma I have. It was, oh, it was so insane. Okay. Yeah. A latte warmest wishes. I know it's kind of a weird phrase, but I just thought it'd be cute. I thought it'd be cute. So we'll do that. I'm gonna die cut. Where'd that die go? I already lost it. There it is, right in front of my face. Nah. I'm gonna die cut one more for this guy just to give it a little extra depth. And I don't have any little scraps left of this, so we're just gonna keep cutting into that. Okay, we'll die cut one more for that. And then Cinderella critters. Yeah, I know. Like, why can't critters just show up and start, you know, helping clean? Wouldn't that be nice? But no. And besides the fact around here, the only critters, like rodents, are the carcasses that our neighbor's cat likes to leave. That's been fun. So yeah, it has been an interesting month, to say the least. So, okay. You look like you clean up as you go. No, I just push things off screen. Honestly, if you guys could actually see like all of this area that's just off screen, I got die sets and cardstock and ink pad, like everything's just piled up. Like this is the clearest space. And that's how it is. There's crap all over the floor, stuff piled up all around me, stuff piled up there. Yeah, it just is what it is. Anyway, okay, got that. And then I can layer. Oh, sometimes I think I can be var smart. I'm going to sandwich this because it's vellum. And I've talked about this vellum. Glue shows through vellum. Not fun. But if I sandwich this between these two layers, that will be like hold the vellum. Sometimes I'm a genius. Not very often. It rarely happens. I don't want to lose this wafer die. So let's put him. Where's the package? I've already lost it. This is what I'm talking about, you guys. I got a like absolute mess going on here. Little package. There you are. Okay, put him back in there so I don't lose him. We're good. And the stamp. Okay. Here we go. Tim Holtz throws it all on the floor. Oh yeah, so do I. Like the little like die cut pieces and stuff all around my feet on the floor. I need to vacuum. It's bad. I've got little just all the little bits are just on the floor. So yeah, we deal with it later. It's fine. So now I can take this. Yeah, Kareen, that's basically like what the neighbor's cat has been. Thankfully not squirrels, but mice and birds so far. Love it so much. Love the little presents. It just is what it is. Okay. So if we take that and then that kind of need to, don't go too far. Eek. We need to put a little bit of glue just along the bottom of this. I gotta move a little quicker because I am taking too long because I'm getting chatty. What else is new? Oop, oop. There we go. Get in your home. Fit on there. There we go. So then I've got the sentiment like sandwiched in between. Bye, Carolyn. Ooh, I gotta. Yeah, you always gotta check. Keep an eye on your dryer vents. You gotta empty out that lint trap on the regular, and then people need to, on a very consistent basis, move their dryer and take like the vent off and clean it, because that thing, massive fire hazard. Massive. 'Cause yeah. Yeah. Okay. A little bit of glue. There we go. Yeah. So we do that. And then where's the little... Do I need to stamp the A? I kind of want to, because it just bugs me if I don't. So if I take that, because it doesn't need to be perfect, but I just want to stamp. Where's that nutmeg ink? If we take the nutmeg, or do I want to do black? Let's just take the black ink. And then I can just take a little piece. Sometimes I'll cut apart my stamps. It doesn't bother me. I know it freaks out some people, but I'm not going to cut this one. I'll just use piece of tape. And then I can ink up just the little A, which is some black ink. Could have used the nutmeg ink as well, just the brown. And then I can take that off. So that's the only thing that has ink on it. And then there we go. Where's my wipe? I already lost it. Whatever. Okay. Got that. There we go. Yeah. So let me put this away before I lose it. So something like this, if I didn't have this die cut to like basically sandwich this banner in, I would do one of two things. I would either carefully just put little dabs of glue right behind the letters of the heat embossing, and you wouldn't need many. Like I wouldn't try to like trace the whole sentiment. I would just put like little dots of glue, like do, 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 you know, here and there, just a few. Because it's also vellum. Like vellum is super lightweight and you don't need much. Like just a couple little dots would work. And then I would just hold it in place, hold it in place, you know, right where the glue was, and let that dry. That's what I would do if I didn't have that, like to adhere something like this, because glue shows. Or what you could do is run before even die cutting it. And I would do this before die cutting, because especially this one has a stitching detail, is I would run this through like a Xyron or back it with a double-sided adhesive sheet, you know, put that adhesive on there, then die cut it, because the die cutting would press the adhesive really well into it and the stitching detail, and then peel off the backing and slap it down. The thing to remember though, if you do like a Xyron or a double-sided adhesive with something like this, it actually makes the vellum even more transparent. So either or. Personally, I would probably just do the drops of glue, because I like how the vellum kind of sticks out a little bit, like it's not flat. Whereas if you put double-sided adhesive or the Xyron, the whole thing would like be stuck, you know, if that makes sense. So yeah, a latte warmest wishes. Kind of a weird sentiment. I don't care. I don't care. I think it's cute. Also, as usual, I'm just overthinking everything. So there's my treatsy on vellum, because it is a little bit finicky to adhere, but also worth it because it's just pretty. Okay. So then we can adhere that like that. And then I'll just hold it for a second. And then, yeah, I could Xyron with an X, Xyron. If you look it up, you'll see what I mean. It's a little sticker maker. I have a Xyron X, and it's just a little purple sticker. It's behind. Yeah, it's behind some things, so I can't even pull one out to show. But yeah, it's a handy little tool. There we go. He's so cute. I'm still going to add glitter to this, even though we're not doing the gumdrops, because it just won't work. It's too much stuff. But I'm not going to put the gumdrops on the inside because then I would be like, they need glitter. They need glitter. But I may do, like I said, more cards. Yeah, I wanted to do this sentiment though from this little winter drinks. You warm my heart. I thought that would be a cute little finishing sentiment on the inside of the card. So, since I've got my stamp blocks out, of course you can use your stamp positioner. I'm just feeling a little crazy today. Anyway, I found with my Xyron that the more detailed the thing I'm trying to sticker, the less well it works. Oh, 100%. With things like that, that's why I say die cut after. Like run the piece, your cardstock, your vellum, whatever you're using, run it through first. Get that coating, the Xyron coating or double-sided adhesive, whatever, first. Then die cut. Because then that pressure, the machine, and the edge of the die does its thing, because otherwise, yeah, you've got those sticky little goobers. And I've shown in old videos how I would trace around the edges with like a stylus to pick up. See, if you worked with the Xyron, you know what I mean. But yeah, if it's anything sort of detailed, I die cut after applying, either running it through the Xyron or putting double-sided adhesive. That usually seems to work the best anyway. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. It's been a long time actually. Okay. We got our little sentiment for the inside just to finish it off. So make sure everything is straight. And then, love it. Got that. And then, I was like, where'd the sentiment go? Or the stamp set. It's got this little guy, just like so. And then that one goes back in this. And I'm literally just tossing them off to the side. I will clean this up when we're done. Okay. So, let me just get this guy closed. Run that along the edge. And then we just need to adhere. Make sure everything's still kind of lined up. Oh yeah. So then we got, yeah. Always make sure your card's oriented the right way. You don't want to glue on your card front and then you find out that you did it upside down or backwards or whatever. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Okay. So we do that. Doop and dupe. And there we go. Make sure everything is even. Just like so. Glitter. Oh, we need that. And we need that. Okay. Oh my goodness. So, finishing details. We're almost done. We could leave it like this. We could use stickles. Stickles are great. Love stickles. Another thing I love to use is rock candy. So, I've linked to both versions because this is how it normally comes, is just rock candy, distress stickles, whatever. There's the limited edition. I linked to that too with the fun little like retro looking bottle. It's the same stuff. If you've never worked with rock candy glitter, like if glitter freaks you out, I recommend trying rock candy distress glitter. There is something very, very unique about this glitter that doesn't apply to any other loose glitter I've worked with. And I like glitter. I do. I like glitter. And I have worked with a lot of brands of glitter because I also used to be an esthetician. So I used to do a lot of nail art. I had an insane glitter collection. Man, I sold all of it when I quit that part of my life. But I had hundreds and I had like every color you could imagine, shape, type, everything. Anyway, Glitter obviously is a pain in the butt. It gets everywhere in the craft world. It's the herpes of the craft world. Like, you'll never get rid of loose glitter. Rock candy glitter is very unique in the fact that it is not static charged like any other glitter. And if you've worked with glitter, you know what I mean. Like, the glitter will stick to the sides of the container it's in. It clings to everything. Rock candy doesn't do that. I don't know how they do it. I don't know why. I don't know. So, and it's not as iridescent. Like, in fact, I have it right in front of me. I did. Where did it go? It was right there. Here we go. This is the other one I really love. So this is rock candy. The other one I love, and I didn't link to it, but I can if I remember later, this is Simon Says Stamps iridescent glitter. So you can see it's got that little iridescent sparkle to it. You know, like the green, the pink little bits of reflect. Iridescent is usually got green, blue, and pink, sometimes yellow reflex. And this one is it's not bad. It's a little bit staticky. Like, it clings to bits here and there, you know, but this is pretty. And I've used up like half this jar. Put lid on it though. Anyway, rock candy doesn't do that. I don't know why, but rock candy is not iridescent in that sense. And I wish I could, like, it's just pretty. So it would work for the gumdrops 100%. I hope I can get those cards made tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. I got 5 million things to do, but I also like it for like snow or just a touch of that texture and glitter without like being super reflective, if that makes sense. So anyway, to adhere glitter, you need something sticky. Liquid glue, glossy accents, collage medium from Ranger, that works really well. The red line adhesive, like double-sided red line adhesive, is a good one too. You need something sticky. I've had a lot of people over the years, and they were like, I used, what is one thing that a lot of people have told me they used? Like pigment ink, you know, things like that, metallic ink. Because while those types of inks are wet, you know, like, or Versamark. Versamark's a big one. A lot of people over the years, and they're like, I stamped it in Versamark, and then I covered it with glitter, and then a few hours, days, whatever later, it all fell off. And I'm like, well, yeah, the ink dried. It may have been sticky while it was wet, but it does dry completely, you know? So you need something with like serious substance to attach glitter for it to stay. So liquid glue, glossy accents, which is just a very thick, clear glue, really, or a really strong double-sided adhesive. That's what I recommend, you know? So we're just going to use liquid glue because it doesn't need to be. Or should I use, where is my glossy accents? I never use glossy accents anymore. Where did I put it? It's around here somewhere. 1 second. I know where it is. Okay. Glossy accents. Let's move that there. Mine is probably clogged. Ooh, is this even? Oh, it should still be okay. Let's take a pin and see if I can. Again, I don't work with glossy accents very often anymore, more so because I just don't have time, because it needs time to dry. But glossy accents is also really nice because you can apply it if you want something raised and glossy accents. Where's a little scrap? Actually, that's just a tissue will work. Test this out, not over your project, because the last thing you want is this like exploding all over your. That would suck. Okay. Yeah, because this bottle is old. I need to get a fresh bottle of glossy accents is what I need to do. But again, I don't work with glossy accents much anymore. But yeah, this is why I keep pins off to the with the matte. Oh yeah, multimedia matte. That glue, that'll work too. You just, with those ones, you just need to like move a little quicker, because like collage medium, dry, you know, like Tim Holtz says, like it has a dry time of now. But multimedia matte doesn't dry as fast, but you do just need to move a little bit quicker. And of course, this one's going to be a bum. Can we just... mine is too thick. That's why. This bottle is toast. Yeah. Okay, that one's toast. Let's just use glue. Whatever. It'll be fine. We're just going to do... you know what? Let's just like put some little squigglies on here. Like this. Like this. Like that. We'll put some right here. Paint some right there. We'll put some on here. And then, because this glue does dry fairly quickly, pour over the glitter. It's going to be cute. Okay. There we go. And then we repeat. So I'll add a bit here. Just kind of scribble it on. It doesn't need to be perfect. Add a bit like that. We'll add some again to the whipped cream swirl. And then that. And then same with that. Like so. And then add some to the little marshmallows. Yeah, that'll look cute. And then pour on the glitter. Yep. That's it. That's it. So, do I want to add any more? No, that's enough. That's a cute little finishing touch. And you take it and you just funnel it back into the container. You can do this also with just a piece of copy paper, you know. And yeah, with rock candy, see, there's like one sparkle on here. This is what I'm talking about. Most other glitters, even after, you know, tapping it, everything, they just, you know, the glitter would just be coating this. There's something about rock candy that doesn't, it's just not statically charged. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's bizarre and I love it. So the other thing to know, regardless, whether you're working with rock candy or any glitter, like, and however you've applied it, glue, glossy accents, double-sided adhesive, whatever. Once it's fully dry, I'm not going to do this now because this glue, you know, I kind of globbed it on here and there. So I'm going to give it a good 15 minutes or whatever to dry. But when it's fully dry, I take this. I do have a link to this. I don't know if they still have it in stock. I have no idea. But if not, it's the Tonic. They call it the Surface Sweep. It's just a big, big fluffy brush. He's big and fluffy. But once this is fully dry, because there is a little bit, will it pick up? There's like a bit of, like, there's some glitter sitting where it doesn't belong. So once this is fully dry, I hold it over the coffee filter and I'll sweep it with this brush. And that will just wipe off any random extra bits. And then it's all contained and we're good to go. So I will do that though when this is, like I said, once this is fully dry, because yeah, it was just glitter hiding behind it. It's like, again, it's not really staticky. So he'll be fine. He'll be fine. But that's what I'll do. So that, my friends, is the finished card. And he's just adorable. So we got glitter and little enamel dot eyes. And a very unconventional color combo. Just so random. But I had fun with it. I had fun with it. And then, yeah. You warm my heart. I love it. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let me Well, I made it work. So, 2 hours in and 1 card. Should have been able to get done more, but again, it's been a long month, y'all. Yep. So many die cuts. So hopefully I'll get some time to make a few other things. If I do, I'll just like take photos and post them and just reference back to this live, because it'll just be same die cuts, but maybe some little different whatever. Who knows? At least it's the die cuts are there for me to deal, to play with when I get free time. Free time. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, showing up on a different day, all the things. And yeah, this was fun. And I had fun chatting with you guys too. I think we've got all the things. Everything is good. And then, yeah, I have, like I said, I've got like ridiculously messy hair, but what else is new? Whatever. I honestly don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I have several more videos most likely coming this week, because even though Stamptember, we're very close to the end. Yeah, there's lots. There is a lot coming, because the beginning of the month or early in the month, there's some new releases coming down. I've got, more holiday cards. I plan on doing more Halloween cards. In fact, I'm hoping to have a Halloween video up tomorrow. It would probably be tomorrow evening by the time I'm done all the editing and everything else. We'll see. But more Halloween stuff, more holiday stuff, more everything. More is more. Hooray. And yeah, we're right at the very end. And then, yeah, like everyone was chatting about at the beginning of this live, there's supposed to be I think it's going to be a limited edition kit being released tonight. But when I know, I will let y'all know. And yeah, most of the links for everything are already in the description box below and pinned at the top of the chat. The only things I need to add are the Wonky Stitch rectangles. I think that was the only extra thing I actually used. Something like that. Maybe those smaller brushes. We'll see. But I'll edit the links and sort of attempt to clean up my mess. And then, yeah, maybe me and Chris can like hang out and watch a show this evening, because didn't really get to do that at all this entire month, because I was basically working till 2 a.m. almost every single day. It's nuts, but it is what it is, and I do it to myself. It's my own fault. So yeah, the other night we finished watching, what was that show? Wednesday, because the second part of the recent season came out the beginning of this month, something like that. And I was like, I'm not even going to get to watch it. And there was a couple nights where I was able to get things done kind of earlier. So I went upstairs and he was just like, we get to spend time together? I'm like, yes, we do, actually. And we got to watch our show. And it was really nice. And I really enjoyed it, because I love like the Addams Family, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, fun times. And thank you, Joanne. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I hope you all also will have a wonderful evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are, because, time zones and all that stuff. And I'll be doing like the photos and social medias and all this stuff for this little guy. And then I've got 3 other videos. Yeah, I did a live stream with some of this release. That was what I did last Sunday. Yeah. Last Sunday, I did a live stream with other elements of this release, and then I have 2 other videos so far. Something like that. I'm like, it's September. I don't even know half the time. The amount of times, if Chris got $1 for every time I asked him, like, what day is it this month? I wouldn't need to work as much as I do, honestly. Good Lord. So I appreciate you guys, though. And yeah, and I also wanted to say, I really appreciate just tuning into my lives. Those that watch on replay, love it. People that are thumbs upping and commenting, all of it. Like, I really appreciate it. It does help. It legit does help. Like, all of it. It like I said in the beginning of this live, like being at the mercy of the social medias, the platforms, the algorithms, all of it is a very annoying, a very annoying aspect. I don't even have words to describe how frustrating it is sometimes, like how much of it's out of my control. But because the biggest thing that drives it all though is interaction. So people commenting, people thumbs upping, all like sharing, etc. It all adds to it and it helps. It helps. And I very much appreciate it. I appreciate it. I got some of the best peeps. You guys are awesome. And I love all of you. So that's it from me. And I have no other insightful things to share. Like it's like my brain. If you could see inside my head right now, my brain is probably only up to about like it feels heavy. It's like we are done. You know, I can physically feel it. It's like brain is shutting down for the day. Like the month is almost over. We're so close, but I still have a million things to do. And oh, yeah, the new hype thing. That is very new. The whole hype thing. Um I kind of laughed that it showed up for Chris on his end. I haven't really seen it on my end, like the option to hype a video. It's new. I'm not sure exactly how that works right now. But I assume those that choose to do that, you like I have no it's like you click a button, I goes to hype a video. It's new. We'll see where it all goes. But I think it helps. So because Chris was doing that. He's like, I hyped up your video. Like I hyped up your video. I was like, good for you. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's another new option, but I assume as it rolls out more, it will do something. I don't know. That's all part of it too. Doing this as a job is trying to keep up with all the changes because things are constantly changing. The minute I figure something out and I'm feeling really good about myself and like telling people it's like, oh yeah, this is how it works, they completely do away with whatever it is, and then I'm like, so yeah, this new hype thing is just in the last what week or two, couple weeks, I think, something, and I'm like, I'm not 100% certain how this all works, you know? Um, um, I don't mind the hype thing, but hate that you can't comment on the videos that are hyped. Oh, really? See, oh no. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, just we're all learning together, literally. Because again, it's not like YouTube like gives us a notice, like, hey, heads up, this is a new thing and this is how it works. I usually find out about this kind of stuff in my own chats, and you guys will be commenting about something, and I'll be like, oh, cool. Didn't know this. Like the leaderboard thing that shows up beside your guys' chats now, the little crowns. That's been new for the last couple months. I forget when they rolled that one out, and none of us knew what it was. And the only reason I had an inkling when I first saw it is because they're kind of mimicking other platforms' live chats. It just is what it is. It is what it is. They're kind of turning some of it into almost like a contest, which I'm not the biggest. I don't want to push that on my audience. Like, prove that you love me. You know, I'm only going to acknowledge like the top 3 commenters, or I don't know how people are treating it, but it's like I'm not going to do that. I don't like that because I don't play favorites anyway. But you know what I mean? It's weird. Some of it's weird. Um. Okay. Yeah, some of you have been figuring it out faster than I could. I just also though it doesn't help that literally I do most stuff on my laptop, like watching videos and all the things. And I'm not even, I have about 30 tabs open right now on my laptop and I need to like clean out everything. It is, I've been having so many tech issues, but I know a big reason is because, especially with this month, with the 5 bajillion things I've been doing, I have all these tabs open, so many websites, so many things. I'm like, da, 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 and I think my computer, like all the cookies and just all the things are just like, and I just need to update everything, clean everything out, and then maybe I'll see the hype option. Who knows? Who knows? Uh, and Christy, you're funny. I thought you were my number one fan. So anyway, uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like popularity contests. Yeah, neither do I. I don't. I don't like playing that sort of game, and I also don't like. I won't treat my audience like you guys. You guys are my audience. I will not treat you like a commodity or just a bunch of numbers, or you know what I mean? Like that's where it's like it's one thing to like have some new features or just have something fun, like that sort of a thing. But it's not gonna, it can get into some weird places. And it's like, no, we are all human beings. We're all human beings. We all like to make cards and craft and just have a fun time. And that's how I want to keep it. So I'm keeping an eye on these new features. And then we're just going to see where it goes. Because, yeah, I don't need all the bells and whistles and yeah, I would like to just hang out with you guys and we make our cards and we chat and learn new things and hopefully y'all are entertained by my craziness. And then that's it. You know, that's just figuring out my darn software. Which bonus, hey, we did this live and my cameras didn't freeze. So that's all I'm happy. We're good. In fact, and you know what? Oh, and the glue is dry while I was talking. So now we can brush it off. I can do this now because, I yapped long enough. The glue is dry. So now I can actually show. Here we go. So I just take my big old fan brush and I just make sure to get in there. And for the most part, there really shouldn't be much coming off because the glue, like the glitter is stuck, to the glue. But this just takes off any little bits that might be hiding. So there we go. And really not much at all there. A tiny little bit came off. And yeah, that glue, it's stuck in there, Yeah. So I love it. You can't go wrong with rock candy. So if you're at all glitter curious, just a little glitter curious, I do recommend rock candy. It's a good one. You can't go wrong, and a container will last you for bloody ever, So, doodly-doo. Did white, black, and silver splatters tonight, and they're all over my studio. Yep. Do you recommend with splattering with white acrylic paint? Oh, you totally can. I used to do that all the time with the picket fence distress paint. You guys, my brain is starting to fully shut down. But yeah, picket fence distress paint. The only thing you need to remember with acrylic paint, whether it's distress paint or just whatever brand of acrylic paint, doesn't really matter, is it's permanent when it's dry. And that only really matters is whatever you're using to like your little palette and specifically your brush is. Okay, sorry. Oh, I think one of my kids is home. Thought I'm gonna need to go. Anyway, I heard the doorbell and I'm like, okay, we're good. Everything is good. Yeah, with acrylic paint, your brush, just make sure to clean it immediately. Don't let the paint dry in your brush. And that's why I've been really enjoying using the gouache to do my splatter because it's easier to clean up because gouache is water reactive. But yeah, you can honestly you can use whatever you want for splatter. I've done so many different things. And down the road, I do plan on doing maybe a video dedicated to splatter. Something like that. I just need more time to think. So, who knows? And Joanne, because you sent that little super chat, it's basically, I think, all done. I assume. I honestly am not even 100% certain. But I think when you give a super chat, the steps for it, as far as I'm aware, I can kind of click on here. Yeah, the only way you can do it, and it says buy and send. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to send myself a super chat because that's just ridiculous. But yeah, I assume it doesn't. Honestly, you guys, I have no idea even how any of this works. I wouldn't worry about it. Everything should be fine. We're all good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the new. Okay, this will be the last one, and then I'll end this live because I'm just brain ball. Still trying to figure out the new splatter medium for us. Simon Says it's supposed to be really liquid. Oh yeah, it's very liquidy. It's this. Here, move that guy out of the way. It's the other way, and it is liquid. And mine, because I make a mess with it. Yeah, so it is liquid. I just don't want to spill it. The thing to remember with this is the pigment does settle. So stir it up. You can, and I have done it. That's why it's like everywhere. So I don't really recommend shaking it because when you shake it, because it's liquid, it gets all up in like the threads. So then it's all around and it can like fuse the jar closed. So I don't recommend shaking it. I have done it, you know, when I'm just feeling extra lazy and I shake it. But I just use something like a little, you know, like a little palette knife, anything. And I stir it up really good because the top layer is like fairly transparent because there's gravity. So the pigments are settling. So stir it up really good and then you can just splatter with it. I've used it in a ton of videos. I just stir it up really well and then I dip my little fan brush right in there and splatter away and it's good. Again, you can use, there's so many things, like there's this one. Spellbinders also has a splatter medium now, which I have and I've used. And it seems similar. It's also like pretty liquidy, I think. I don't even know where it went. But yeah, and like watercolors and paints and sky's the limit, man. Anything can be splatter if you're determined enough. We can end it on that. Like this is what happens when Amy goes on little sleep. Anyway, like, you know, it is what it is. So, anywho, hopefully that sort of makes sense. Yada, yada, yada. Words. Words and words. That's what we're doing around here, you know? So, I will do the social medias. I will add the link to these guys. As soon as the live is over, I can quickly add that one to the supply list. Everything else is listed and linked, except for maybe like the embossing powder, because I don't think I had listed that, but you know. So yeah, I'll edit that and then do the social medias and all the things. And then I gotta clean up my mess and then I'm gonna go to bed because even though it's not super late here, it's only a little after 8 p.m. My brain is just done for the day, and that's okay. It needs a break. Aw. Pretty sure that was my kid and they left already. Darn it. Well, I'll catch them later. I'll probably see them tomorrow. It's fine. Anyway, that was that on that. And I have a mess to clean up. So I will catch you guys in another video. And we'll talk later. So, bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!